check. And there's never been a moment you were forgotten. You are not hopeless. Though you have been broken, your innocence stolen. I hear you whisper underneath your breath. I hear your SOS, your SOS. I will send out a divine will.
Holding right now in Kalihi. Community members are rallying as we speak, demanding that authorities continue their search for 6-year-old Isabella Ariel Kalua.
The little girl was reported missing from her Waimanalo home more than 3 weeks ago, but there haven't been any new updates in the case. Now, an advocacy group called Protect the Keiki are calling for answers from Child Protective Services. Mark Carpenter has more.
And we are now speaking with Lana Idao, Isabella's biological auntie. Now, Lana, first off, thank you for joining us. How did you, as we wait for some of the procession to pass by, how did you hear about this event? Because it is our understanding that this was not organized by Isabella's biological family.
Correct. It was on Instagram, media, Facebook. So we just came down to support. Yeah.
What do you make of the response thus far and seeing so many people out here speaking up for Ariel?
Very overwhelming. People just walking up out of nowhere and say, "Hey, can we help? Can we be involved? What can we do?" So that's what they're doing right now. Yeah.
Those that we have talked to thus far, this is an event that is targeted at state child protective services. What are the questions that you have for CPS in this investigation?
To determine how you do your process, making sure follow the guidelines and protect the kids. To protect the kids when they go into foster homes. Make sure. As it's been said on the news or elsewhere, there's a 5-year background check, and for Hawaii, and as people doing their own investigation, they're seeing a lot of history of other foster families and how could they have gotten the kids also. So there's a lot of raised questions.
And what kind of suspicions did you have about CPS and throughout this entire process and how the placement of the children went?
Still lacking, I guess, information, still lacking a lot of questions needs to be answered that everybody has. And I don't know, it's hard.
Honolulu police have said they are not actively searching anymore. How did that sit with you?
It's hard, for us, we're just still looking. We still going out. We doing rallies. We doing whatever we can to just keep out there and try to find her. Whether it's with them or not. But if any information and anybody comes with any information, call Crime Stoppers so they can go out and check. We just want to bring her home already.
On behalf of Isabella's biological family, what can you tell us about search efforts that could be happening in the future?
Well, we're planning rallies. We're doing another rally this coming Friday in Waimanalo from 4 to 6, and then 6 to 8 in front of Puha Street again also. Try to keep it alive, keep the music of her keep going so everybody knows what's going on. Come on out, support. It's not only just for Ariel, but for all the kids of Hawaii, that has no voice. So, yeah.
Lana, thank you very much for your time. Lana Idao, Isabella's biological auntie, and we'll have much more on today's event, on air and online on Hawaii News Now 4, 5, and 6. In the meantime, back to you.
How's it, everyone? This is Eddie Dowd with KITV. We are here in Honolulu outside Child Protective Services, where members of the community and also members of the biological family of Isabella, that missing 6-year-old who disappeared nearly a month ago in Waimanalo. People are out here outside Child Protective Services. Basically, they want answers. You know, now nearly a month since her disappearance, they want to know what's going on with the investigation. Are there any leads? Are investigators having any success trying to track down what happened to her? Where is she? So I'm going to turn the camera around so you can see what I'm looking at. So across the street is some of the family members, the biological family of Isabella. So, well, one of the biological family members told me is that they hope that by coming out here, it will send a message to Child Protective Services that, you know, they feel that they dropped the ball, that CPS dropped the ball in protecting Isabella and putting her in a right home. Obviously, a lot of frustration from them as this search goes into, or as this investigation now goes nearly into a month long. And the biological family says so far they have not been notified of any leads or things like that. And so they feel kind of in the dark when it comes to that.
Cannot be covered over and over. You're not, you are not hopeless.
Community members are rallying as we speak, demanding that authorities continue their search for 6-year-old Isabella Ariel Kalua.
The little girl was reported missing from her Waimanalo home more than 3 weeks ago, but there haven't been any new updates in the case. Now, an advocacy group called Protect the Keiki are calling for answers from Child Protective Services. Mark Carpenter has more.
And we are now speaking with Lana Idao, Isabella's biological auntie. Now, Lana, first off, thank you for joining us. How did you, as we wait for some of the procession to pass by, How did you hear about this event? Because it is our understanding that this was not organized by Isabella's biological family.
Correct. It was on Instagram, media, Facebook. So we just came down to support. Yeah.
What do you make of the response thus far and seeing so many people out here speaking up for Ariel?
Very overwhelming. Um, People just walking up out of nowhere and say, "Hey, can we help? Can we be involved? What can we do?" So that's what they're doing right now. Yeah.
Those that we have talked to thus far, this is an event that is targeted at state child protective services. What are the questions that you have for CPS in this investigation?
To determine how you do your process, making sure follow the guidelines and protect the kids. To protect the kids when they go into foster homes. Make sure, as it's been said on the news or elsewhere, there's a 5-year background check and for Hawaii, and as people doing their own investigation, they're seeing a lot of history of other foster families and how could they have gotten the kids also. So there's a lot of raised questions.
And what kind of suspicions did you have about CPS and throughout this entire process and how the placement of the children went?
Still lacking, I guess, information, still lacking it, a lot of questions needs to be answered that everybody has. And I don't know, it's hard.
Honolulu police have said they are not actively searching anymore. How did that sit with you?
It's hard, for us, we're just still looking. We still going out. We doing rallies. We doing whatever we can to just keep out there and try to find her. Whether it's with them or not. But if any information and anybody comes with any information, call Crime Stoppers so they can go out and check. We just want to bring her home already.
Wow, we're live here. Crime Stoppers, what a bunch of crap, right? Nobody's stopping these war crimes. Systematic child trafficking, forced adoption, black market adoption, child trafficking, Crime Stopper crap. They're not going to do crap, Jack. We have to do it. We have to raise hell. All foster parents, surrender the children now. Get out of the business. We know who you are. You will be exposed. You will be on a national database, child sex trafficking database, all foster traffickers. The only way you can have a child to supposedly foster is the parents have been charged with the crime. There's no crime in 97% of CPS child kidnappings. No evidence of a crime, no evidence of neglect, no criminal charges are ever filed in 97% of CPS child kidnappings. Private investigator. The investigators are out. The groundswell of social media. We're expecting a $10,000 reward. We're expecting a GoFundMe. We're expecting the lips to start getting loose. There's a lot of people that know what happened to this child. Crime Stoppers left message, put in a reward for her. Never called me back. What a joke. Crime crappers, FBI, crime crappers. There is no legitimate agency anywhere. The chief of police, the mayor, the governor of Hawaii should be speaking now. They are cowards. I call them worse than cowards. It's like it's cowardly means like you're kind of fearful of something. It's beyond cowardice. It's that's one of the most heinous crimes is forms of cowardness. But cowardness can also be perceived as a form of fear. Like he's just a coward to fight, doesn't want to fight. That's part of it too. All of these coward police, social workers, directors, we're asking for the CPS director of Hawaii to step down. We want the governor to speak. We want the chief of police to get off his ass. Get in these people's freaking, don't let them sleep, okay? They need to stay awake. no rest for the wicked. These are the wicked, the people that are not doing their job. This could be stopped very easily. It could have been stopped. It didn't have to go this way, but this is the way it works. CPS is a child trafficking terrorist organization from top to bottom, causing the most heinous crimes the world has ever seen internationally. We're going to go to more video. We got more video coming in. Stand by, switching screens up. Keep sharing. Erupt to shut down CPS. It doesn't work. Foster traffickers. When we can get through the foster traffickers' heads that you're all trafficking, you're all part of a scam. Shut up with your bullshit that you're doing something great for somebody. You're all part of a systematic child sex trafficking, pedophile, torture, drugging ring that destroys children and destroys families. There are children that need help, but foster care doesn't work. We want all the kids in one place. They're not safe in foster care. Bring them in now. Bring them in. Give them the best food. Give them the best supervision. Give them the best love and attention. Kids just want to be kids, and they're being strangled and tortured and beat down in these isolated foster homes that never freaking worked. Foster War 2021, Operation Shutdown. Shut it all down. Hold the foster traffickers responsible. They are the Achilles heel of the entire system, and every single foster parent is the blood of this child is on their hands. We're going to go to another screen here. Stand by. See if we can find it. Share. Just a hot potato day to just really break this. Where's she? I've not seen this found. YouTube. I think it's this one. Okay, yeah, we're live. So we're going to go to this video. Play all.
Hi everyone, just a couple of different things that have been uncovered today. Someone in one of the groups did a background check on both parents, and the things that come up for the adoptive parents, the things that come up for the adopted mom, is mostly traffic infractions, dating all the way back to 1996. The most recent traffic infraction was in April of 2020, but most of them were from 2000 and before. The adopted mom does have some credit issues starting since February of 2021. With COVID, it's hard to say. I mean, who doesn't have credit issues, depending on what their jobs were? That could play into that. Or it could also be the fact that they adopted the children officially in February, so that a lot of the income would have stopped for their adoptions. Now, I know that there is payments that come in still after adoption with different rules and regulations for adopting a kid in Hawaii, and in the guidelines for adoption, it says the licensing requirements, the minimum qualifications for foster and adoptive parents are they have to have a sufficient income to cover their financial needs, have the ability to provide a safe, loving, supportive environment for foster and adoptive children. So on Google Earth, I was able to pull up the street that Isabella lives on. I was kind of wanting to see where exactly she was, mostly because I don't know anything about Hawaii. I've never been there. I've never been in this area. I'm not even going to attempt to say the street names or even the towns for that matter, because I just can't pronounce it. So at first I thought that this might have been Isabella's house based on this picture taken from the news report, but it just doesn't go the right direction, and there's no fencing around this house. These pictures are from 2001, so I know they're relatively newer. Whenever you go out, though, you can see that this house back here is actually Isabella's, I believe. Just drag you right down the street here. And I mean, this is, of course, the backwards angle, because since it's a end of the road house, it doesn't have the front view. But the windows and everything match up, and then the garage and stuff is on the right side, and there is a fence in this one. So it's one of the two, but I'm thinking it's this one right here. without the house address. I can't tell you for sure, but I do know that a lot of the news reports seem to be getting taken in empty construction-looking lots, and there is quite a few of those in this direct area. The other thing that I wanted to look at was, where was the video taken of the girl walking? Now, someone in one of the comment streams had said that the address was on a street name and what town it was located in, because I thought, I was under the impression that it was right in this area. Somebody with a Ring camera or a business camera was able to catch her walking down the street. That was my assumptions. However, this video I don't think has absolutely anything to do with Isabella, because the area that it was taken in is way over here. This is the street name that someone told me that this was taken on, and it's in this town. So it's a completely different area, and if we actually draw the map, let me measure it for you, from that dot to it, foul play has not been rolled out, and that once again, according to police, some family members are not cooperating in the investigation. Police also confirmed that a backpack found in the canal during Thursday's search is in fact connected to the case. So the backpack is for sure Isabella's. I'm going to assume that the pictures are for sure Isabella's, like they are rumored to be. Why aren't all of the family members cooperating? And whenever they are saying that some family members are not cooperating, who are they inferring? Because the lawyer insists that the adoptive parents are being cooperative. So if that's not the case, why is the lawyer saying that? And if it is the case, who is the family member that may have taken this baby? Just going to finish off by putting her face out there again. If you know anything about Isabella's disappearance, please call. Please call and let someone know where Isabella is. Thank you. Hi, everyone. Just wanted to show you some things that I was looking into in the Isabella Kalua case. As we know, Isabella's adoption was finalized in February of this year, and I was curious looking into her case if there is any follow-ups by DCFS done post-adoption. So, and what I found is it would depend on a couple things. It would depend on which state they live in, which theirs is Hawaii, obviously, and which agency they went through for adoption. And I'm just going to read you the information that I found. So this agency, for example, requires a minimum of 2 post-placement visits following the placement of the child. These requirements vary based on state, federal, international accrediting body or agency guidelines. Some countries are now requiring post-placement reports until the adopted child turns 18. What I want to know is, why does the United States not require the post-placement reports until the child turns 18? We are seeing so many children go into the system, be adopted, and then go missing or be murdered or sexually assaulted. All of the different things that are happening to these babies that have just went through an adoption. And I feel like we are failing our children by not requiring follow-up visits until they turn 18. I personally feel like these visits need to be done every 3 to 6 months until they turn 18. However, even just once a year would be better than not at all. Okay, so what is the post-placement report? The post-placement report is
Okay, where are we? Where
Let's let the notifications get out and let people start coming in. Talking about Isabella tonight, Ariel Sellers. For those of you who don't know, there is a march planned for tomorrow from 4 to 6. You're going to meet at the Jack in the Box parking lot. And then from 6 to 8, you're going to be up at Puha Street again. Please bring your signs, your mask, and your voices to support Ariel. Okay. Let's get everybody in. Okay. So the first thing that I wanted to start with is I wanted to talk about this mother that is the mother of Christopher that is missing right now. He's 3 years old. Just before we dive into Isabella, let me see. Switch my screen here. Where do I have it?
From the house. She said she took her eyes off Christopher for 2 minutes.
So I just wanted to
while
show
she
everybody
unloaded
this
groceries,
because
and that's all
this
it took.
is what
She
a
says he was
mother
gone,
should
although
look
the
like
dog
whenever
did
she is
come back.
grieving
This mother
and
is
upset and
inconsolable
worried
and
about her
praying for
daughter.
some.
If it was me, I would probably consult with a lawyer or have a family spokesperson. I've seen that done in the past, but there is no way that I would not be out searching for my child. I would be 100% in, like, regardless of what's going on around me. I would be talking to the press every chance I could get, or talking to my spokesperson so that they could talk to the press, but there's no way that I would hide. They've deleted pretty much everything on their social media accounts at this point, from what I understand. And they're getting worried because the group is getting big. I'm not sure. Let me check exactly how many members we have now. I want to say it's like 570. But that's not big. Like, they have no idea. If they think that this is going to get small and go away, it's not. They've got another thing coming if that's what they're waiting for. I have only been on this case for 15 days. It was September 22nd whenever I heard about Isabella missing. And in 15 days, we have grown the group from 39 people to 570. We're now got 5 different YouTubers making videos about Isabella, and it's just going to keep getting bigger. So if they're waiting for it to go away, it's not going to happen. This family, the biological family, is not going to stop marching. They are not going to stop protesting. They want answers. So if police and the adoptive family is just waiting for it to go away, it's not going to. Wait. Okay, there it is. So I don't know if you guys seen the video that was posted, 572. Yep. See, I knew it was somewhere around there. We're growing every day. We're getting bigger. And then that's just our group. There's still a whole nother group by Alert to Locate that is, I want to say, around 170 members, give or take. So combined, we're over 750. And it's going to keep growing. We're going to keep spreading awareness. And this is just social media. I know that there's a whole army of people out there right now passing out flyers and spreading awareness on the island. Every time that you guys march and every time that you spread awareness through the media with your marches, more and more people are going to drive past and be like, oh, well, what's going on there? And they're going to see and become aware that she is missing. So like I said, if they're waiting for this to go away, then they need to think again, because it's not going to. We will not stop until Ariel is found. We will not rest until Ariel is found. You know, she doesn't deserve what happened to her, whatever it is, and they need to just fess up and say what happened. Somebody asked in the group today under the anonymous post about their security system, and it raised a couple good questions. So I went on and I looked up all of the different security companies that are in Hawaii. And I was looking up some of the different features of what each security system offers. Let me find my paper. Sorry. So every single company pretty much, except for the ones that didn't have websites, there was a couple that do not have websites that I didn't get a chance to call, but I will. All of the companies have something advertised on their sites called two-call verification. And what that means is that, say your alarm goes off. You have 30 seconds to enter your code. Some of them were 60 seconds, depending on which company you went to. And then once your code is entered and the alarm is disarmed, they call to make sure that you disarmed it and to make sure that everything is okay. If you don't answer, they call a secondary phone number on your account. And if that phone number does not answer, they check the camera system, see what's going on, and send the police simultaneously. So if they have their alarm that went off around 1 a.m., like they are saying, they had to have woken up and shut that alarm off for the police to have not responded. So who shut the alarm off, Luha? Who shut the alarm off, Sonny? Who was it? Because somebody shut that alarm off. You know, we want answers to questions like this, and not from your lawyer. You know, you need to give answers to the police directly, because this is the stage of the game that we're at right now. Something isn't right with this case. You know, I came into this with a attitude of, well, I'm not going to look at it like that. And, you know, well, maybe, you know, sunflowers and rainbows, and maybe there was a unicorn that swooped down and took her. We don't know. It could have been UFOs or Bigfoot. Like, anything could have happened. But the more stuff is coming out and the more information we get, it's awful. Like, why? What happened to her? You know, I'm hearing now that my September 4th that I said was the last time that she was seen, nobody actually made contact with her. They just assumed that she was there. So how true is that? You know, I'm hearing both ways. When was the last time that anybody seen her? Other than Sunny, Luha, and Ryan, and Thomas. Who's the last person to have seen Isabella Ariel? So this is just, you know, where we're at with this now. And I don't know if you guys watched the video that was posted on the group earlier today. It was by Truth Unfound, I believe. She's a newer YouTube station. It looks like she only has like 3 or 4 videos up. She doesn't have very much stuff, but she has made a couple, 2 really good videos about Ariel so far. She put the timeline into both of them, or into the one today, I mean. It was a pretty good it was a pretty good video, but it raised a lot of questions for me, because it was looking at, you know, the marks that are on Ariel's face in some of these pictures. We don't have too much security companies here on I'm sure because of their criminal history, they have their security untraceable. So, but they were able to show the police the record of the alarm going off at 1 a.m. So even if it was untraceable, they still had the alarm that went off that should have activated their cameras, but their cameras, quote unquote, glitched. I'd like to know how many times their cameras typically glitch. Do they glitch often? Or just whenever your 6-year-old who is fully dressed wearing shoes going to bed, happens to get up and walk out of your house at 1 a.m. to go sleep in the yard where she sleeps often. Like, I also have heard that they have electronic locks on their house because of the fact that Isabella wanders away to sleep in the yard. That's a new detail that I've heard. And I don't think that's true. I think they're just trying to say, like, oh, well, we were diligent parents. That's why we had these electronic locks and this security system and cameras. But that night, everything didn't work. But somebody shut off the alarm at 1 a.m. So how did she get out of the house? And better yet, how did she get out of the house with a backpack and a bag full of toys and with dirty old slippers that don't belong to her? Make it a couple miles away to throw her photo album in the dumpster the week before, and then a couple miles away from that to leave her toys that look like they came from, any dollar store and could be anybody's toys at the beach area. The whole story, it just is red flag after red flag after red flag. And, like I said, I've stayed pretty neutral this whole time, but I'm getting to the point now where people are sending me messages all day. And I'm fine with that. Message me all you want. But I'm getting details. And these details that are coming into me are so alarming. And, I'm making sure they've all been sent to police if they are relevant. Most of it is just stuff about the family. You know what I mean? Like drug use and allegations of criminal activity and different things like that. There's a reason that people are afraid to speak out in this case. And so a lot of it I've just kind of kept to myself, but at the same time, I'm hearing this and I'm seeing this innocent little girl, and I want to know what happened to her. How did she go from this happy, healthy looking child whenever she was in this home that was so bad for her that she had to be removed? And I'm not faulting the biological family whatsoever. But how did she go from that to she gets so skinny? She has what people are saying are bruises on her. The biological mother is saying that the last visit that she had, she was covered in bruises. If that's so, the door lock alarmed her at 1:30. Should match the cameras at 1:30, but nothing. Right. It was somewhere around 1 a.m. they're saying. I'm not sure if it was 1:30, but exactly. They're saying that the cameras glitched, which isn't true. And then there's people on the same area that have cameras also that never seen Ariel walk away. I mean, we can go back to where, I don't know how many of you seen the video at the very beginning that I showed of the mother. She is heartbroken because her child did. He walked away. He followed a puppy down the road and he is lost now. The dog came back late last night, but the boy is still gone. And she is heartbroken and she is begging and pleading for her baby's life, for people to come forward. Her whole world changed in an instant. 2 minutes. She was unloading the groceries from the car and turned around for 2 minutes and he was gone. And then we see Luha hiding in her house, shooting the posters that people put up of Ariel. They have bullet holes or burn marks in them after the rally. Recording their interview before they gave it to police through their lawyer because they don't want to talk. The difference in how they are acting compared to somebody who is actually heartbroken about their child is disturbing. So I don't know. I'm fired up today, obviously, because I am just I didn't get enough sleep last night, let's be honest. But I'm just, like I said, we're what, 25 days in? She's been gone for 25 days. And from what we can tell, like, the police are quote unquote investigating, but we're not hearing anything. And then the CPS is saying in their news article about how, oh, well, they look into every case and they do background checks and blah, blah, blah. Like, oh, they do their job. But why does a felon have a baby? Why did you put her in that house then? If you do extensive background checks? No, you lie. Your website says 5 years. That's what your website says. So either somebody needs to go correct the website or y'all need to stop lying because you don't do extensive background checks. And Hawaii's not the only state like that. Florida has on theirs that only some felonies will stop you from having a child, which means if you're a felon for, I don't know, theft or drugs, you can have a baby. Like, that's ridiculous. We're taking these children out of homes and then putting them into homes that are just as bad or worse in some occasions. Like, something has to change. Yeah, I'm upset too. Like, you can't, I don't know. It's just too much. It's just too much. And then, like, that video today from Truth Unfound, she did a really great video. I enjoyed her video. I thought that it was good. Everybody should go watch it. She had a lot of great points. However, at the end, whenever she's talking about how she doesn't agree with what I said the other day about how CPS checks should continue after adoption, because you want to feel like eventually that the children are yours. I don't see how it would be any different than being required to take them to, like, a doctor's visit, for example. Something to make sure that these kids stay safe after adoption. Because let me tell you, Ariel is not the only child to go missing as soon as adoption happens. She's not. I don't know if any of you looked into Orrin and Orson West after I posted it earlier. But as soon as their adoption went through, they went missing. And they haven't been heard from in 10 months. We have no idea where they are. Nobody's looking. Nobody's doing anything. The Bakersfield police in California are just sitting there, as far as we know. If these kids had checks that happened up until the age of 18, like they do in Switzerland and other countries, maybe our kids that get adopted wouldn't have a 45% more chance of dying in custody. Maybe if somebody was holding these parents accountable to make sure that these babies stay safe after adoption too, that this would be better. What is this felony for? So he has 3 different felonies for assault. Yeah, foster kids once every 3 months. I agree. And then, like I said, after adoption, there's no reason that they shouldn't have to go like twice a year, even until they're 18. Because, like I said, she's not the first child to get adopted and then disappear. This isn't the first time. Something has to change, and, it needs to start here. Not just the system, though, but like how we view cases. We shouldn't have to protest and get loud and be in their face for people to realize that she is missing. It shouldn't have to be this way, where we have to do all of this just for people to notice, just for the news to make a report. They went 12 days without a news report. 12 days. Why? They didn't start reporting until we started protesting and getting loud. And then they had no choice but to report on it. We have to do better. Terroristic threatening. That's what it was. 2nd degree. Yep. Yeah, like he's a violent criminal. His ex-wife had a PFA against him. If I remember correctly. But we're okay. Let's give him 4 babies. Like, what? Let's give him all the babies. Let's put them all in his house, and we'll just trust that he's changed. And I get it. Some people do change. Some people, change their lives completely around. But I'm going to tell you right now, if you steal from me, I'm not going to leave money on my plate and walk away. Why would I do that? If you've done it before, you could do it again. So why are we gambling with children's lives? Why are we just assuming that these people changed because enough time went past? No, it shouldn't be like that. Not with our babies. You want to gamble with something? Give him a puppy. See how he does with a puppy. You know what? No, that's not fair to the puppies. Forget that. Scratch that. Give him like a gecko or something. Like, you can't have no kids. I'm sorry, not from the foster system, not somebody else's babies. That's awful. And now look, now she's missing. Where is she? Sonny? Where is she? I want to know. And I hope you're listening. Somebody told me that you've been listening to my videos and, I'm giving you guys a fair chance and blah, blah, blah. Well, this is me telling you now. Where is she? Because somebody in that house knows. Let's look at these pictures from earlier, from this Truth Unfound video. Let me pull it up. It's going to get trippy. Don't freak out. Maybe. No, what are you?
Okay, we're live here, just cutting in. This image here, a broken leg. Clearly her leg is broken. We called it out that she looks like she got a broken leg, and then we found out she did have a broken leg, and it's been documented, and she's been walking on a broken leg, and that was in an earlier picture where she looks younger. We heard that this is a later picture of her, and her leg is broken again. That's what we're talking about. She has clearly her leg is not being tended to, cared for. It appears broken in this picture. The extreme amount of pain she's in for long lengths of time. They fractured, broke it again. It's broken. It's not aligned at all. Where's the cast? Where's the crutches? Where's the wheelchair? Why is she being propped up like this? Is this a staged picture to make it appear that she's okay? Look, she was fine. We were going to a party. Look at us. We're having a celebration. She was fine. No, people know about the break. They know it's broken. They know she couldn't walk. She can't even, you'd have to carry her. Look at her, how skinny she is. Starvation. This is a picture of starvation and torture for a length of time without any medical attention. Her leg is broken. They have to basically break it again to reset it. It's not healed at all. And we've seen her actually walking in it in a 2020 video on the way to court, limping, and it's documented. And then we have the squashed hand. I wondered how the bruising could be so extensive on her hand. I'd never seen bruising like that. They said it's in a door, but it's over a large area. That doesn't seem like a squashed in a freaking door. It's too wide. It's over, it's covering a large area of the hand. Squashing, who knows? It's torture. We know the type of fate that the probability of what happened to her. Picture, photo album found at a dump. Her uncle works at a dump. Her uncle is what? I don't know. Uncle works at a dump. That's where the artifacts were found. Dumpster diving. All the red flags everywhere. Lots of pictures of bruising. Horrific torture. Again, hold everyone accountable, people. Foster war. Keep it simple. You need to call them out. Every single cop in Hawaii. That's not talking about every single politician, the governor, police chiefs, director. We want the director of CPS to resign. We need whole new leadership. Shut down CPS as we know it. It doesn't work. Never did work. It's working perfectly for the banks, the launderers, the judges, everyone profiting, and everyone getting their kicks off of raping children and drugging them. That's and all the money that it provides to all these predators. So I just cut in. We're going to try to go back to that. More imagery coming in.
What are you doing? Sorry. I clicked the wrong button. Truth Unfound posted these earlier, and the biological family has asked the same questions. Why does she have all these marks on her all the time? Because they never knew her to be a rambunctious, get hurt all the time kid. There's a difference between if you have a kid that plays outside all the time and she's got bruises, than a kid who's just in your house. The neighbors said they haven't seen these children outside ever. They don't come and go. They don't do nothing. They are in this house. They don't get to leave. So it's not like she's playing outside. So what are these? Are these bruises? Are they pixelation? Shadows? I don't know. But, Truth Unfound is saying that maybe these are bruises. And then we have the biological mom saying that the last time that she's seen her, she was covered in bruises. And she reported that. And what did CPS do? Did they look into it? I don't know, because she was adopted. And then they changed only her name. Why? Why did you change her name? But none of the other kids? That's weird. That's weird. And then we're hearing that the 12-year-old was forced to cut her hair. And that's why her hair looks a mess. And doesn't have a normal haircut in any of these pictures because she got goop or something in her hair and was forced to get her hair cut by her sister instead of somebody taking the time to get it out. It's too much. It's too much. And I don't know anymore. I don't know. We have this one. She's got the cuts on her face. Mark above her lip. What's happening? Why she always got bruises? You think Luha is the one who hurt Ariel and Sunny got rid of her body? She is a stay-at-home mom. See, I don't know. I don't know them personally, but I have had people tell me that, Luha was a very strict parent, which there's nothing wrong with being a quote-unquote strict parent. I have, I know strict parents. There's nothing wrong with being strict, but are you abusing your child? Because that's not okay. There's a big difference between, a spanking, for example, to getting cuts on her face. How's that happen? How's she get bruises on her arms? You want to spank her bottom. I'm not going to argue with you one way or the other over that. But cuts on her face? A swollen eye? Why's she swollen? How'd she get bruises on her arms? That's what I want to know. And then, we're seeing photographs of... Tristan, put the dog out, please. Sorry, it's my puppy. We're seeing the photograph of the one picture. I don't even have it on here, but it was just posted again yesterday, where she's the only one in a mask. Everybody else is smiling. Everybody else, no mask. Why she got a mask on? Then there's the picture of them at the beach. All the other kids in swimsuits. Everybody's in swimsuits. She's sitting there in long sleeve clothes. Why? What are you hiding? Was she being abused? That's what... There she is. Show it. How hard is it? How hard is it to say, hey, this is Ariel. This is Isabella. Whatever you want to call her. Go by either name. People know by now she's both. Because her name just changed in February. Show her face. Every single day. Wake up and show her face. 6 a.m. broadcast. Put her flyer up. 4 p.m., 5 p.m., 6 p.m. Take a 10-second commercial break and show her face. Every day. The family is going to keep marching, and they're going to keep searching, and we're going to keep airing what they're doing as much as possible. Please do your part, news. Please. And like I said, I am thankful because the last 2 days, there has been so many articles and there has been these broadcasts, and that's what we need because she's still missing and there are still people on that island that don't know. Like I said, this isn't going to just go away. And if the Kaluas are listening and you're waiting for it to go away, it's not going to until we find her. We'll be outside your house again tomorrow. Maybe you want to come out and chat. Nobody's going to hurt you. Nobody's threatening you. Yeah. Well, the problem is, True Crime Vibe Tribe, they're not being allowed to get some of the information because they're not even though they're biologically their family, they are not by law their family anymore because the adoption took place. So even if they call every day, they're still not getting very much information. They're getting the basics. They're telling them they're searching and looking into the investigation, but the details that you would normally get as a family member, it's not necessarily happening, from my understanding anyways. And I've seen people talking about, somebody messaged me and asked me what I thought about doing a GoFundMe for a private detective. And then somebody mentioned it in the group again today. And here's my thing. GoFundMes and stuff like that would be completely 100% up to the family. I will tell you, if this keeps getting bigger and getting the social media traction, some people look at GoFundMes as a good thing, and other people look at it as a bad thing, like the family's trying to profit. If it gets set up, I think it needs to be set up to go straight to a private detective investigative firm or to a bank account for a reward fund. I wouldn't mess with the whole, the whole GoFundMe situation because it brings as much good as the money does. It brings the negative attention too from people. There are YouTube creators who spend their whole day, bashing families that have GoFundMes. So, but hopefully, maybe a detective on Hawaii will see all of this and want to volunteer his time even. Like, that would be awesome. We got any detective friends? Like, let's do this. We need somebody looking into this case. And I'm not saying that HPD isn't. I'm sure they are. But how much, considering that the Kaluas have family in the police department, I found out. They're attached to everybody in that community. It's crazy. But I don't know, guys. I just wanted to come on and, like I said, continue to spread her name, continue to show her pictures, and put her face out there and rant and rave for a little bit because, like I said, I got fired up this afternoon. Yeah, no, I agree. They need to call every day and let them know that they are not giving up and not going to stop looking. I agree. But I wanted to make sure you guys seen the flyer that was posted in the group. This isn't the flyer. It's just, I typed it. But they are. Hi, everyone. Just wanted to continue to update you with what we know about Isabella Kalua's story. Isabella has been missing since September 12th. At around 9 p.m. was the last time her adopted parents had seen her. She was last said to be seen wearing a black hoodie, black leggings, colorful socks, and black shoes with a pink bottom. If you have any information about Isabella's disappearance, please call 955-8300. Now, there is some speculation going around that Isabella may have been autistic. We are not entirely sure if that is correct or not. However, her biological family is saying that they believed that she was autistic prior to losing custody of her. This has not been verified, so take it as you will as just speculation. There are two different stories about the night that she disappeared that we have been given so far. At first, the lawyer for the adopted family had told us that Isabella was not known to wander off and that they believed that she had to have been basically kidnapped because she wouldn't just wander off. And now they are telling us that Isabella was known to wander outside in the middle of the night and that sometimes in the morning they would find her asleep in the front yard. If that's the case, you would think that they would have more substantial locks on their doors or cameras to alert them of when Isabella would be leaving outside. So if they have Ring cameras or any other video cameras, I really hope that that information will be turned over to police, as I'm sure it will, because it would help prove their innocence. Also, that we can help see what time Isabella for sure left the house if she did leave on her own accord. It's interesting because on Thursday, they did find a backpack of toys in a park near Isabella's home. They also found a photo album that is said to have contained pictures of Isabella at the city dump. These are Isabella's biological parents, Adam Sellers and Melanie Joseph. They have 5 children, all of which were taken from their custody around 4 years ago into CPS care. 4 out of their 5 children went on to live with the Kaluas, and the Kaluas adopted all 4 in February of this year. The 5th child is living with one of their family members. That family member was unable to care for all 5 children and was the youngest of the 5. Adam Sellers is still actually in a rehabilitation center for drugs, And Melanie has said that whenever she would visit the children during visitation before the adoption, that she would often see abuse marks on Isabella. Now, whether or not that is true or that is just something that she is saying now that this incident has occurred, we do not know. Whenever they were first put into their care and throughout the years, a lot of speculation has come up because of the fact that these two individuals are only speaking through an attorney. Typically, whenever you see a child go missing and the parents are not involved, they are very vocal and outspoken because they want their child found. That in itself has made people raise a lot of speculations as to why they are not talking, especially on the heels of the Gabby Petito case, where we watched Brian Laundrie and his family lawyer up and not speak. And now it turns out that Brian was most likely involved in Gabby's death. The other thing that has been uncovered by the news media is that Isaac Sonny Kalua actually has an extensive amount of charges in his background. Although they were 20 years ago, they are assault charges. So whenever you look at accusations of abuse on a child and they are placed with somebody who has abuse in their history, it definitely doesn't look good. I found a post on Instagram. It is somebody who is related to Isabella's family, and needless to say, they're very upset that this situation occurred. It's raising questions about the CPS in that area and why they are placing kids with parents that have a history. I'm just going to go ahead and read parts of this post to you. I can't read the whole thing because there is a lot of swearing, but there's also a lot of accusations thrown in here that the locals are agreeing with. And it raises the questions, is there some type of conspiracy going on with the CPS in that area or the police department? Okay, and it reads, in search of the missing child who was human trafficked in Hawaii this past Monday morning. Found items at Bellows Air Force Base, slippers, backpack, and a plastic bag. No body has been identified, and the search continues statewide to look for Ariel Sellers, renamed Isabella Kalua by the corrupt cocaine drug-dealing foster parents, Sonny and Luha, who used to work for criminal Michael Minsk and other human trafficking and drug smuggling organizations and people, such as the Dirty Honolulu Police Chief and Dirty Prosecutor, Dirty Ex-Mayor, and all corrupt. If you see Ariel Sellers or any other missing children, please contact the number on this post, 911, or the nationwide human trafficking or drug smuggling unit, 1-866-347-2423. If you see something, then say something. Now, as I said, that's a lot of pretty harsh accusations flying around, but it makes you wonder what people in this town are feeling and if they truly feel as if this is another situation where CPS could be involved with helping make this girl disappear. I know that's crazy because we look at CPS as an organization who is supposed to protect children, but this isn't the first case that a child has been put into care and then has turned out to be abused, hurt, injured, or missing in the care of their foster parents. So just something to think about. I'm just going to leave you again with the phone number in order to call if you know anything or see anything for Isabella. And that phone number is 955-8300. Thank you. Hi, everyone. Just wanted to come on and show you guys some of the clips that I gathered up from different sources of yesterday's protest. A lot of it is people live streaming the event that took place for Isabella Ariel Sellers. These are some pictures of some of the posters that people had gotten ready for the protest in Ariel's name that took place last night on Puha Street. Police were called, but it wasn't because anybody was being violent or unruly. The adoptive parents called the police to the scene, and the police tried to disperse people and make them leave, basically. From what I'm understanding, one of the cops was related to the adoptive parents. So that raises questions in your head about, is this part of why this case is so quiet? After yesterday's protest, they still only got 14 seconds of video footage put onto one channel's news feed on Facebook. It wasn't even on the 10 o'clock news. Nobody at the protest, as far as I know, was interviewed about Ariel's disappearance. So it just, kind of raises the question as to why is she not getting any news time? Why is no one looking for her, it seems? It's just frustrating. So I'm going to go ahead and play a couple of the clips, like I said, of last night. It's only about, I think, like 6 or 7 minutes of footage that I gathered up. There was a large amount of people there, and I was really happy to see how many people came out in support of Ariel. So I'm going to go ahead and play those for you guys.
Everybody, arms out. Okay, we gotta split up. Only 25 on each corner. 25 on each corner, and they were saying about threatening. We cannot do anything threatening to them, but we can say whatever else we want. 21 in each corner. We're not the coppers on that. You can start with it. Okay, so we gotta count.
We're gonna stay over here.
Last time I spoke in Czech, they said public ground, and we have freedom of speech. Try again.
Hi, we're live. We're live here. Yeah, you see, this is just like the potato case. Everybody outside of the people involved, the ones that are silent, hiding.
They picked a persistent one over there.
Protecting people.
My daughter
not coming out and
is
speaking to the public. But again, this screwed up the potato case. This case coming out, so they haven't covered this like they should, and they wouldn't want to. This takes away from the potato case. They want you watching the potato case. the case that doesn't make any sense.
Excuse me.
And this makes a lot of sense. The extensive amount of information, and it's a child, a 6-year-old, and everyone knows what's going on. Again, the crippling of the child. Let's talk about that. That they cripple children. They make them so they can't walk. They make them handicapped. They drug them to death. They beat them constantly, and they say they're sick so they can get more freaking money. A strict parent, adopter, a mother claims what this is not being strict. Neglect. We feel that her leg was broken twice. That's the assumption now, but we did call it before we even heard about it that her leg is broken, and it has been broken in the past. And this appears to be a different aged picture, not the like she could be older here than when it first happened, and that this was one of the most last pictures ever taken. The other picture of her walking with a limp is 2020. Walking on a broken leg, so it's documented, but it appears it's completely broken again, and they're staging these pictures because they're posting them online. You don't post up a picture of a child online unless you're trying to get, you know, that the damn child's suffering with a broken freaking leg, unless you're trying to cover something up, and you're so freaking stupid. These people are stupid. These people that don't come out and fight for the kids and talk about how they've been missing, and I'm shattered, and we loved her like our own child. None of these maggot family members are out speaking anywhere. They're in on it. They hired an attorney. This is worse than the potato case. Because long-term extensive torture of a 6-year-old innocent child.
Okay, so that was the different footage that I clipped from the different sources. There is more out there if you guys want to go look into it a little bit more and look it up. But it's important to note that, you know, like I said, this remained peaceful. There was no violence, nothing, no threats. They were just chanting, "Where is Ariel?" And they have a right to ask that question. They have a right to protest, and we will not stop. I'm going to keep covering this case as long as Isabella Ariel is missing.
That's who knows about this.
Because we're not just going to let her fade away. And I know that her family feels the same way. We're not going to just let her disappear.
Got a kick off of torturing this child. This child was tortured, most likely.
So if you have any information regarding her disappearance, please contact the police at 955-8300. And just as a reminder to everybody, tonight, October 2nd at 5:30 p.m., they are having a Purple Light Prayer Vigil at the boat harbor. So everybody is welcome to join them there as well, once again, in support of Ariel and to pray together.
Imagine the torture.
All right, thanks, guys. Have a good day.
Beatings, when her leg is already broken, and then they hurt it again, and they don't get attention, and they fracture it again. What do? Do you take her to the hospital? Yeah, she broke her leg again. Her leg is not set right. She's being neglected and beaten and starved to death. And you know all the other dirty things that could be happening in there. All the sexual things that could be happening. All of that is involved here. What stay-at-home mother allows this to happen? She needs to be arrested. Failure to protect. Pictures, imagery of child abuse. Get her arrested and watch them start squealing.
Hi, everyone. Just gonna wait for some people to get in here.
Who
look at you staying awake all late.
Disposed of her. There's so many things. This child wasn't seen in the yard at the house. Not seen in the yard at the adoption house. Come on.
Just
get out of here. Where was the freaking child? Homeschool. Oh, yes. Homeschool because she's being beaten systematically. Again, they try to crack to make the kids sick so they can double the income. They want more money. Declare the child handicapped for life, and you can double your income.
Hello.
Cripple her. She can't walk right. She needs constant medical attention. She has autism. She needs medication. She has attention deficit disorder.
So we're going to be talking about
treatment and
Isabella tonight. Ariel Sellers.
Picture here
her case,
of a child tortured.
I also wanted to touch on some things that I have found about children that have gone
long-term
through
pain,
adoption or
and
in
why
foster care
people
as
can't
well.
believe who would post a
I think
picture
that
like
we
this.
need to
So a
take
picture
what our
says 1,000
experiences
words,
with Isabella and make sure that this
shut down
stops
CPS,
happening
hold
for
everyone accountable.
kids.
It's game over. Foster war. Get all these foster parents internationally to
Let's
get
go
out of the
ahead
frickin' child
and
sex trafficking, drug torture
get
racket.
started.
Stop saying you're doing something frickin' good. System never worked. We want all children together where they can be given a resort to live and breathe and not have to worry about somebody raping them and molesting them and beating them and torturing them and burning them and starving them and drugging them every single freaking day. Foster care is Auschwitz internationally. Holocaust,
Okay, so this is
war
Isabella
crimes,
Kalua. For those
genocide,
of you who are newer
social
to the
targeting,
case, I
poor
know that
people,
there are some
destruction
people
of
who are
America,
supposed to be tuning
destruction of
in that had
Canada,
not heard of
destruction of
Isabella
Australia,
yet.
destruction of
So this is
the
her.
UK.
She's 6 years old,
This is
3'3",
to
weighs
breed
about 46
failure. It's
pounds.
a war. It was
She went
created
missing
that way.
on
It's working
September 12th
perfectly.
from her
It's the
home.
most well-oiled
The last time she was
terrorist,
seen was around
child
9 p.m.
trafficking,
and her
torture,
adoptive
drug
parents said that
ring
she went to
ever
bed wearing a
created.
black hoodie,
Let's hear what
black leggings, colorful socks, and
Sleuth
Nike
Mom has to
slides
say.
with a pink bottom. This is all taking place in Hawaii. If you have any information about Isabella's disappearance, please contact the Honolulu Crime Stoppers at 955-8300. So one of the things that was caught my eye about this case, I actually heard it on the radio. Just in passing, they just
Cutting in here. Yeah, just want to mention she hasn't been seen since August 16. It's another potato case, but this is much more serious, and probability of being true is much higher. The potato case looks staged, made for media. Let's all get the gumballs out, get everyone's attention, distract you from child sex trafficking, torture by the government. The FBI is where they at? Why are they not? This is a kidnapping. This is an Elizabeth Smart case, but this is what John Bonet. This is a John Bonet case. We're going to sign out. It's been great, you guys. Share the content. Well, I'm going to just let this play, and we're going to take. We won't be around, but we're going to let. Got a lot to listen to, a lot to watch.
mentioned that there was a 6-year-old girl missing in Hawaii and that she was considered endangered missing. So what happened was I Googled her name and found quite a few news articles from Hawaii the first day. But whenever I went onto Facebook and looked her up, she had almost no following. There was one group, it had less than 40 members in it whenever I first joined. And I was just kind of appalled, honestly, because this is all going on at the same time as Gabby Petito. And it's not Gabby's fault that she got so much attention. I think that she deserves the attention that she got. However, I also think that all of the missing people deserve that same level of attention. We have news stations in Hawaii right now covering Gabby Petito's disappearance, and there has not been a news article about Isabella in 8 days. 8 days since the last time the news has gone on air and made any statements about Isabella. There has not been a picture shown. There has not been anything put out to bring attention to her in her own state. And it's upsetting to me. This little girl deserves attention, and she deserves to have her face out there for people to see. So Isabella was one of 3 missing children that I had started to notice that weren't getting the attention that they deserved, all within a week period. And so as a true crime sleuth, I took this information to some of the big channels. And I asked them, I said, can you please look into covering Isabella Kalua's case? I also asked them about Khaleesi and Angel Nicole Overstreet. And I literally emailed so many creators that are covering, Gabby Petito around the clock, Summer Wells around the clock, and they're getting all these viewers. And I'm like, this would be great if I could get them to just look at these cases. And none of them did. So I was really upset, and I decided that, as a mom, I couldn't imagine what if it was my child. What if it was my child that wasn't interesting enough for people to desire to cover her or him? My son is biracial, and just statistically, whenever you look at cases being covered, if he were to go missing, he wouldn't get coverage. He's a male and he's biracial. They wouldn't even blink an eye. And so that's why I started this channel. I decided that I was going to attempt to put these babies' names out there, because if I don't do it, then who will? So that's just a little bit of a background as to why, this channel came to be and what's going on, for anybody who's wondering, because I've been asked that quite a few times. I had people claiming that I was like, just trying to cash in and blah, blah, blah. And like, yes, we need subscribers in order to get this case out there. So yes, I am requiring you to subscribe so that you can comment, because otherwise, without subscribers, you don't go anywhere. It stays just as nameless and just as quiet as it has been. So that's just a little bit of background information about me and what's going on. But this is about Isabella right now. So Isabella was said to have walked out of her home sometime around 1 a.m. The adoptive parents have some type of security system on their doors, and it alarmed around 1 a.m. They apparently did not wake up for this alarm, or I'm guessing it's a silent alarm of some sort. So it had her walking out of her house sometime around 1 a.m. The claims are that whenever she walked out of her home, for some reason, their doorbell cameras glitched, so they do not have video of her leaving that evening. The neighbors that are right across from her and down the road also have a camera that did not see her leave. The adoptive parents immediately lawyered up and waited almost a week to give their first statement to police. Whenever they gave their statement, hi, True Crime Vibe Tribe. Whenever they gave their statement, they did a recorded statement with their lawyer that they gave to the police. So they have not really sat down and actually discussed things with the police. They just gave a recorded statement to them. So some of the odd things, aside from, the 1 a.m. going out, the lawyering up, she also was said to not wander away. They thought that immediately that she had to have been kidnapped, because she would never walk away from the home. And then whenever that raised red flags with people, the lawyer came out and gave a statement saying that Isabella often would be found sleeping in the front yard. So that in itself was like, okay, well, first you said she doesn't wander away, and now you're saying that she sleeps in the front yard. So that was odd. So during the searches, they found a photo album that had Isabella and her siblings' pictures in it at a dumpster that a homeless man had pulled out of the dumpster. Whenever they showed this homeless person Isabella's picture and said that she was missing and asked if they had seen her, he said, "Oh, I have this photo album over here that I pulled out of the dumpster about a week ago." So pictures from Isabella were thrown away over a week before she was reported missing. And they, sorry, I'm like trying to follow the chat at the same time. So they found they found this homeless person with these pictures, and police confirmed that it was in fact Isabella and her older sibling, her 12-year-old adopted sister. And then about 4 or 5 days later, I want to say it was 4 days later, they found a bag or a backpack. I've heard both ways. I've heard garbage bag full of toys, and I've also heard backpack full of toys that they had found down in Bellows on, let me just pull up the map real quick. Sorry. They found her backpack of toys over here by the Bellows campground. So this is her home here. And then the photo album was found at this convenience center here. And the bag of toys was found over in this location. So people were speculating whether or not this. Now, it's important to note that the biological family is actually the only one searching. The adoptive family hasn't lifted a finger. They haven't talked to police. They haven't helped with searches. They haven't come to any of the candlelight vigils. And they're saying it's because of death threats and everything else. But from what I'm hearing, nobody's threatening them. Nobody's even really bothering them. It's just kind of like a, well, where's Isabella situation? And they jump straight to not talking. So this Saturday, trying to get my power. Okay. Ariel's photo album was found in. Is not typically the norm. In a black hoodie, black leggings, colorful socks, and Nike shoes with a pink bottom. So that in itself is kind of alarming to a lot of people because kids going to dress fully clothed is not typically the norm. I've had a lot of people messaging me today about this specific part of the police articles. And it says, we have conducted numerous interviews. However, there are still individuals, to include acquaintances and family members, who have yet to come forward to be interviewed. So what basically has been going on is a couple of the neighbors have messaged me at this point about the acquaintance. They are claiming that this man seen by the white vehicle lives with the Kaluas and that he works at the dump that Ariel's photo album was found in. So according to what I've been told by a couple different people now, is that this photo album was found by a dumpster diving homeless person who, when they began searching for Ariel, was showed a picture of Ariel and said, hey, I have a photo album that has this girl's picture in it. According to the homeless person, the photo album was pulled from the dumpster about a week before Ariel actually was reported missing. Now, I cannot verify that to be 100% true. This is just something that I have heard from multiple people today. It's ironic that they're saying that this acquaintance that stays with the Kaluas actually works at that dump where they were found. And I'm just going to read the message from the one main person that I got today. It just says, how ironic that they found the photo album of Ariel at the dump inside a dumpster. The same dump that is located a couple blocks away from the foster parents' home. The same dump that the cans are emptied every day, except the compactor, the one you put household trash into. That is covered with metal doors, and you cannot see inside of it once trash is inserted. The same dump that the big guy that lives in the foster house worked at for years. With that being said, was Kappa's quarry searched? Now, I don't have any information about whether or not that location was searched or not. However, I also do find it suspicious that if it's true that this man works at the dump, if it's true that the homeless person was dumpster diving and pulled it out the week before, that in itself is odd to me. Let me just go out of this for a second. I just want to pull up to the other thing that I wanted to look at is the Google Earth. Just to go over again where this dump is that they're saying the photo album was found in. So if you look here, it's the convenience center right here. And apparently whenever you go into here, there's separate trash, like there's cans and then there's regular dumpster trash. Now, from what I'm understanding, there's multiple homeless camps through this area, and it's very known for people to dumpster dive and sort through the trash, etc. So that's not anything odd there. It just so happened that while searchers were looking for Isabella in this area, that they had ran into this homeless person, and when he was showed the picture, he was like, "Oh, I found this photo album in the dumpster the other day." And apparently he kept it out, which that in itself is odd because, you know, why would you hang on to the photo album of this little girl? But that's the information that I'm getting so far, is that there is another man that's living with the Kaluas, or that stays there frequently enough that neighbors see him. Now, the neighbors are saying that they have never seen the children outside. The children are always inside, and they haven't seen Isabella in quite some time. There is a neighbor that has a Ring doorbell camera that faces kind of towards the home of Isabella, who is saying that she does not have any video footage of Isabella walking away that night. And this is Isabella's house. I'm just going to show you guys the house for those of you who haven't seen it. So I'm not going to tell you which neighbors, of course, talk to me and which ones have cameras. I'm going to leave that information private. And I do have the identity of the man who they are claiming lives with them. I'm also not going to put that information out there because I just don't want him to get doxxed, or for people to start harassing the family with things that are being claimed. Of course, we have to have the presumption of innocence that, you know, all of this could just be libel. It could all just be, you know, just put out there to try to make people look more guilty than what they already do, or, you know, just false claims. But this is information that has been shared with me by, like I said, multiple sources now, that this homeless man had the photo album for several days before Isabella went missing. He claimed a week, but it was at least several days, and that this acquaintance works at the dumpster area. So that's the one claim. The other thing that I wanted to read to you guys again was the article that, well, not the article. It was a post made by someone who is acquaintanced with the family. And I'm just going to read it because I thought that the claims were kind of, you know, extremely like harsh. I'm going to read it. Just one second. I read it the other day on a video, but I know that a lot of people have not watched all of the videos yet. And what it says is, in search of a missing child who was human trafficked out of Walamano, Hawaii this past Sunday night, Monday morning. Hawaii has found items at Bellows Air Force Base, slippers, backpack, and a plastic bag. No body has been identified yet, and the search continues statewide to look for Ariel sellers, renamed Isabella Kalua by corrupt cocaine drug-dealing foster parents Sonny and Luha Kalua, who used to work for criminal Michael Mintz and other human trafficking, drug smuggling organizations and people such as the Dirty Honolulu Police Chief, Kaluha, Dirty Prosecutor, and Dirty Ex-Mayor. All corruption. If you see Ariel sellers or any other missing children, please contact the number on the post or 911 for local assistance. Call nationwide 1-866-347-2423 to report any forms of human trafficking or drug smuggling. So whenever I was looking into that, like I look into absolutely everything once I read it. It's really interesting to see who this Michael Misk is. I'm sure if you are local that you have already heard of him. Let me pull up. Sorry, gotta find the right article. So he was arrested last year, and I'm just going to read it to you. It says that he's charged with 17 offenses that include drug trafficking and weapons offenses, armed robbery, kidnapping, and murder for hire. He pled not guilty earlier this month. This article was from a couple months ago. And from what I understand, he was arrested along with 10 of his associates. It's like a crime ring in Honolulu. And if the parents are actually connected to this guy, like that's bad news. We of course don't know for sure if they are. I mean, I'm sure somebody else out there does know for sure. But I doubt that they're going to speak up if this is the type of people that we're dealing with here. So I just wanted to know like what everybody is thinking on the case though. Like where is everybody's theories at? What are you guys tossing around as like ideas about what could have happened to Isabella? Do you guys think that she walked off? Do we think it's even a possibility? Whenever we look at this and then see this is a business here, apartment buildings, there are apartment buildings here, a church, and then there's a 7-Eleven down at the end. Whenever you're heading out this way, we looked at the other day that there is pretty much fenced in yards going through most of this. So she would have to either hop fences or walk on the roads because she headed from her home and she would have either headed towards the dumpster area where her photo album was found or towards the Bellows Field beach where her toys were found. Now, I've heard conflicting things. One report said it was a backpack, and the other one said it was a garbage bag full of toys. You don't think she walked off? See, I don't think she walked off either. I feel like if she would have walked off, then we would have seen her on camera somewhere. I really hope that police are digging more into this acquaintance. I'm sure they are, just based on the fact that they continuously say that the adoptive parents and the acquaintance are not cooperative. It's kind of sad because there hasn't been any new updates since the 22nd. I wish that the news reporters were continuously reporting on this. I mean, I've been watching a lot of the Hawaii news, looking for updates, and I see more about Gabby Petito and Brian Laundrie than their own missing children. And not that Gabby and Brian don't deserve attention too, but you would just think that with this being local to them that they would be reporting on it more. It's hard to cover no news though, and so many people don't want to dig for information. They just want stuff like spoon-fed towards them. And I mean, you can't do that. You have to actually be looking for stuff. So I'm just going to pull this up for the people who didn't see it yet. They're saying that this man in the picture is the acquaintance that actually lives with the family, or he is there often enough that people know his car and see him leaving for work and different things throughout the day. So if anybody was wondering why they keep saying that the individuals that aren't coming forward are the acquaintances and family members, this is who they're talking about, apparently. So, and then, like I said, it's just interesting that now the neighbors are saying, one of them told me that they do have a camera. Isabella was not seen on that camera. Of course, the police know this. And that this connection to the dumpster has been made from people in the home. So the other thing that I wanted to tell you guys about too is that on October 2nd, which is this Saturday coming up, they're going to have a Leave the Light On for Ariel prayer session to show support for her family, her biological family. It's open invitation. Everyone's invited. And it's at the Wanini. Well, I can't see that. Boat Harbor. So if anybody's interested in going to that information is there for you. Make it a little bit bigger so that you can see it better. If you guys have anything that you have seen or know anything about, please make sure that you contact the police. It's good to put the information out on social media, but it's more important that the police have it than anyone else. Do you guys think that that they might have hurt her, or do you think that she could have been trafficked, or are we leaning towards kidnapped? What type of thought process is people having? Now the Kaluas are actively trying to get the other 3 children the other 4 children, but the 3 that are related to Isabella, they're trying to get them back in custody. Yeah, I know. I'm praying for her too. It's hard to look at these cases, but at the same time, the more that we look at them and get her face out there, the better it will be in the long run. She has people who cares about her that want to know where she is. They want answers, and someone out there has the answers that they're seeking. And we've seen with Gabby Petito's case, for example, a lot of people didn't know about Gabby's case until they seen it on TikTok or on Facebook or on all of the different, sources, Instagram, Twitter, all of the things. And so social media was able to help get Gabby found. And we can do the same thing for Isabella. or Ariel. From what I understand, she was the only child that had her name changed when she was adopted, which I don't know how true that is. That's just something that somebody said in the groups, but I don't know if it's because of her age. Was she the youngest, or maybe she didn't like her name? I don't know, but she's the only one that was changed from Ariel to Isabella. You think they killed her? I really hope that's not the case, but people are really leaning towards the fact that she may have been missing longer than what we think. I just find it odd that this homeless person is saying that they found the photo album the week before she went missing. It's a little bit concerning. And it's also concerning the fact that these parents had door alarms on their doors, but that they weren't set to like make noise for a child who was known to sleep out in the yard, they said. You would think if you were constantly finding your child sleeping out in the yard that you would do something to prevent that. You don't have a real list of missing children. No, it's true though, because there is a missing child right now that whenever we check the registry for her state, her name wasn't on it. And it's scary because we're seeing more and more with all of these CPS cases in general that the kids just go missing and they're just gone. If you look at Orrin and Orson West, their photos, whenever they were put out, were like 2 years younger than what they were whenever they went missing. And it makes you wonder, like, why don't you have an accurate photo? Even Summer Wells, the picture that they put out for her, she had a head full of hair. And whenever she actually went missing, she was shaved. So it's like, why would you put out a photo that isn't an actual representation of your child? And now we have Isabella. Her name was changed in February. And she was pulled out of school in June. And now she's missing. And her parents aren't talking. Like, the adoptive parents are not saying a word. This acquaintance isn't saying a word. But this is once again shortly after an adoption was finalized. She went missing, and she's totally off the radar. Like, nobody's even really, her biological family are searching, and there are locals who are searching, but there are a lot of people who aren't searching. Maybe she was afraid to sleep in the house. See, so somebody said that in one of the groups, if she really was sleeping out in the yard, was there a reason for it? It's very possible. We don't know. So I don't know if you heard, I was going over the connection that might be between this Michael Minsk, and he's actually, him and 10 co-defendants were charged on 22-count federal indictment in July 2020. 2 additional defendants were added since then. They basically ran the crime ring in Hawaii. And it's said that the adopted dad actually worked for him at some point. Now, whether that's true or not, I obviously can't put proof out for that. But from what I'm understanding, trafficking, kidnapping, murder, drugs, like all of those things, this man is in prison for right now. He is literally, like, they refer to him as the crime boss in Hawaii. So that in itself is terrifying. Because if these are the people that those parents were connected with, that's scary, and I'd like to look more into the adopted father's assault record, because I'm curious almost if his assault record was from back in his days whenever he worked with this crime thing, or if it was like a domestic thing. Like we don't really know. I didn't search that far into his background check. I might actually be able to pull it up. Let's see. It's so hard to read because it's so blurry. See, it doesn't say who it was against. It just says that it was a Class C felony assault and terroristic threats. So we don't know who these were against. But I'm curious if it's somebody that he knew, or if it was part of this whole crime boss angle that could be out there. It's scary to think about the fact that this is what these children were living with. And, you know, I've showed people the Hawaii website. Let me see, go to it. Let me just pull it up. 1 second, sorry. It's scary to think that, you know, he was able to adopt kids because of his background. But whenever you look at Hawaii's information, it literally is within 5 years. They don't background check back that far. And it's scary because it's like, really? I mean, you can't. We're just putting these people with children that shouldn't have children. And like, that's one of the laws that need changed. Federal foster and adoption license agreements. This is for Hawaii. The minimum qualifications for foster and adoptive parents are: have a sufficient income to cover your financial needs, have the ability to provide a safe, loving, supportive environment for foster and adoptive children, pass required federal FBI background clearance, state criminal history clearance for all states resided in for the past 5 years, and child abuse and neglect registry checked. That's it. 5 years is all they look at. And, you know, people keep arguing with me about the fact that they look at your whole background and he should have never been able to, and blah, blah, blah. And like, yeah, that might be the case in some states. But in Hawaii, they only look at 5 years. That's it. Sounds like a domestic fight. It goes on to say that you can read more into it. There's also exceptions that they make. If you do have a background, you can go in for the exceptions for if your crime wasn't against children, that they'll also allow it. Yeah, it is different in every state. Exactly. And a lot of people who are debating this with me are foster parents in other states. And some states are extremely strict. But then we have Hawaii that all they look at is the past 5 years. Like, that's terrifying, because say you hurt a child 6 years ago. Well, that was 6 years ago. So it won't matter. You know, the past 5 years is all Hawaii looks at. I don't know. Can you guys see that? Make it bigger. That way everybody can see it better. Again, this is from Hawaii's foster and adoption guidelines. And it says it right here. The past 5 years. So, I don't know, like, that in itself is scary, because we need to do better for our kids. We need to protect these children that are going into foster care. like I said, you have at least Isabella's picture on her flyers is updated, because a lot of the children that go missing from foster care or from adoption, it seems like they put out pictures that are so old that they look nothing like them. So, but I encourage you guys to look into who this acquaintance is. I mean, I have found some information, but like I said, if you're interested, that's where you need to start looking, because I feel like the acquaintance or the homeless person is going to be our key to what's going on. That needs to be where the pressure is put, because they know something. Maybe not the homeless man, but the acquaintance will know something. The family knows something. Foster care and public school in our world is such a mess. It is. Now, they say that she was pulled out of public school to homeschool in June. And she had done the distanced learning last year. Now, I'm not sure what the COVID guidelines are like in Hawaii, but I know that a lot of parents where I am opted to pull their children out to homeschool this year rather than have their kids be in mask mandates or do distanced learning again. Because whenever you look at regular homeschooling versus the distance learning, like distance learning it's awful. You have a teacher trying to deal with 20 to 30 kids via a computer, and it's not conducive to learning. Like, it's so hard to get your child to stare at a computer screen and sit still and actually do their schoolwork through the distance learning. So if they really pulled her out because of the fact that distance learning is awful, I can totally understand opting to homeschool instead of that. You know, as a parent, there's no way that I could do the distance learning. So it was just kind of some food for thought for you guys tonight. Just some more things for you guys to look into and kind of dig. Again, I'm not going to put this guy's identity out there. I did screenshot the picture from the news that somebody had sent to me, and put it here so that you guys could see kind of his shape and stuff like that. I know it's blurry and that you can't really tell who he is. That's kind of on purpose. I don't want to dox him, but at the same time, if you are local to that area, it will be very easy to find out who he is, where he works, and where he is living. Just based on, the fact that he's there. His vehicle is there all the time. He's in and out of their house all the time. So that's just something to think about. There's this guy who is an acquaintance to the family that's tied into this somehow, and the lawyer is also protecting him. Whenever your child goes missing, you don't typically see people give a 2-hour recorded statement to police and then that be all that they talk to the police. And that's exactly what happened. Their lawyer recorded their statements about what happened and sent the recordings to the police. They did not talk to the police on their own. They had the lawyer from right off the bat. And so that in itself makes you think, like, well, why? Like, what are you worried about the lawyer or the police finding? Even if you're not guilty, what are you hiding? Because it's scary to think that they're that worried about incriminating themselves that they did a recorded statement and that's what they put out into the world. So, but that's all I really have though, guys, is the acquaintance And then the connection that might be to this Michael Minsk, it's really scary. He's a scary dude. So if this is the guy that the adoptive parents may be involved in some way, shape, or form, like, that's scary. Obviously, this guy is in jail, but there was a very large amount of people that were arrested with him that were all involved. And like I said, literally, the articles refer to him as the crime boss. It's like Hawaii's own little, mafia type thing, or mob. I don't know what your preference would be in that situation, but trying to see. So I'm just gonna say a quick prayer for Isabella, because I really think that this is what we need to do. We need to pray for her to be found. We need to keep her in our thoughts and keep spreading her name as much as we possibly can, because she's somewhere. Somebody out there knows where she is, and somebody out there is going to have the information for where she is at. So we just need to keep spreading the word until somebody comes forward. So just going to pray real quick. Dear Heavenly Father, please be with this child, Lord, and help the authorities to find her location. Keep a veil of protection over her in the meantime, Lord. Keep her safe if she's still with us. And if not, dear Lord, please lead us to her. Help the investigators find who is responsible for her disappearance and to bring her justice or to bring her home, dear Lord. Please be with her family, her biological family, and her siblings, dear Lord. Keep them safe and out of harm's way while all of this is going on, Lord, and help to comfort them through all of. So I'm just going to go ahead and pull back up the Google Maps and hopefully not exit this time.
What would cause that? What would cause the bruising on the fingers? If you'd like to come on, let us know. Anyone out there? Let's see. You just can click the link, and you can come on. Or if you have my phone number, call me. Let's do this right here, right now. These images that are coming in, this lip, this over here towards this part of the lip, and I'm not sure if this is a rip, a tear. Looks like a injury here on her lip. The bruising on the hands. What causes that? Bruising. How difficult is it to bruise? They look like birth. You never see anything like this. These are the mass, the squinting of the eye, the bruises on the hand here. Let's just blow them up even more. We've got some blow up functionality here, but look at the hands. There's something seriously wrong, beyond comprehension. This green color and how it blended in, but there's something seriously wrong here. The imagery that's coming in, and as you focus in on it, yeah, we've heard they're claiming that her hand got slammed in a door. If you could believe that, it's a hand slammed in door, and they failed to take her to the hospital. There was a delay. We do not know how long. Very serious hand injury, as you can see, and they didn't take her to the hospital immediately. They waited. We're unsure of how long. A delay in the taking her to. It's all paid for. They don't have to pay for anything, and there's no excuse to not take her to the hospital for this. It's a cover up. It's a why is her hand like that? Oh, there's probably a brace on it. There we go. There's a brace going from probably that thumb maybe over to there. That there's a brace there, and that's why her hand is kept like there's. It looks like a bracing. Her hand has been injured severely, delayed to have it serviced, as well as they broke her leg months later. The trampoline, the classic trampoline, broke my leg and couldn't get up in the morning. Um, so hand injury, claimed slammed door. It looks more like maybe a stomp. Somebody stomped on her hand. It's such a large area. It doesn't look like fine lines of a freaking door. A door is going to have edges to it. A door is going to be, 1 inch thick. Uh, it's a very large area. I mean, her hand would have had to be. I mean, it just doesn't line up with the injuries. So uh, the doctors didn't call this out. Didn't say, just you've waited. Why would you wait? You're waiting to take a child to the hospital with a very severe hand injury. Why? It's because you did it. You have to keep knocking the kid in the head, keep brainwashing them to either not remember what happened or there's a systematic. That's what they do. They cripple the kids so they don't remember. Drug the kids so they don't remember. Abuse the kids so they don't remember. And what to say if anyone asks. But there's something seriously wrong here. The imagery that's coming in as you focus in on them and we pull them in and enlarge them, there's just something wrong. That's what we're talking about. Again, creepy. Look at that bruise on the arm. The ultimate restraint of a child. Let's keep going. There we go. Stolen souls. Look at that eye. Bingo. Look at that arm. Bingo. It's here. All the trail of evidence of abuse is here, like we've never seen before. We have new reports of felony charges, 4 felonies, convictions on the trafficker, the male trafficker, adoption trafficker. There's nothing parental about where this child was. Very eerie. We're going to get to the video here in a minute. I'm going to switch screens. But you see the hands. So talk to us in the comments. I don't know if anyone's out there. Anyone's up. It's early morning here, Pacific Standard Time, 1 a.m. I can't sleep. This is so important. And we're getting so much attention with everything we do here at the CPS News Network. We're, reaching 600,000. We just broke 600,000 reach for 30 days. And that's, usually it's like 90, 150, but there's a lot of attention. The attention, it needs to be pulled in, and we're trying to pull in that attention that how serious this is across the nation, everywhere. This is just another case, but that there's a fever pitch right now, and people are looking around at the government. They're looking around at cops. They're looking around at judges. They're looking around at adoption. They're looking around at foster care. They're looking around. People are. It's a very different state pulse of what's going on than it was 10, 20 years ago. Big time. We've been riding the pulse. We know the pulse. We helped create the pulse. We are the foster world. We founded the foster world. We founded CPS News Network, and what we do works in regards to perception and how to talk about things and discuss them. And there's nothing parental about foster care, where this child was. Let's just keep going over some images if you can see them here. Just loaded these pictures up. Everything's done just kind of haphazardly, but we just want to get the imagery up, the discussion about the images that you're seeing. You see them as we see them, just coming in. The black eye, bruising on the arm. Hello, the swollen eye there. It's just closed shut, maybe poked. It's healing because it's automatically closed. These bruising on the hands is just eerie. I've never seen anything like it. Nothing ever. We're going to go to the video one more time on these pictures here. The mouth, this ripping of the lip of the side of the mouth here. Also an injury here to the top part of the lip. Hand bruising like we've never seen before. It's just, we can't imagine what forms of torture she may have experienced. And then here, it looks like she's leaning on the wall. If she doesn't lean on the wall, she will fall over. It looks like she's ready to fall. Like It's painful. It hurts. Her leg isn't straight. She's not standing straight. It looks like if her back may not have been on the wall, she would fall down. We don't know when this picture was taken. If it's staged, we see that she's not being fed properly. You can see the malnutrition. We know what the malnutrition looks like. And that if the wall wasn't behind her, maybe so consider that they may be propping these pictures to try to give the image. Oh, what do we do? What do we do? Well, we post happy pictures. She has a fracture. We can't take her to the hospital. What are we going to do? They're going to take all our kids, all our money. We're trafficking these children. She has a fractured leg. Her kneecaps broke. Something's wrong with her freaking body. We're going to show you other pictures of her limping, but there's clearly an issue. And where was the medical attention? Why was she not taken to medical? So off the charts imagery of abuse. So let's just see if there's anyone out there. We've got any viewers. Looks like we do. Thank you all for being here. Your comments, your presence is very important to us. We're on the cutting edge here. Can't sleep. This is a huge case, and it's a huge case because it comes at almost the same time as the Gabby Potato case, and how she gets all the attention. FBI's over there, in and out of the house, and they haven't surrounded the house. In this case, they haven't surrounded the house. We have seen no boxes removed. The whole place is a freaking crime scene. My God, we just woke up in the morning. Our child's out of here. Surround the house, quarantine the house, tape the house. Everything's going to be gone through with a fine tooth comb. Didn't happen. Again, Ariel Sellers is her name. Stolen Isabella. Yes, they stole her and they trafficked her, stole her soul, mind, body, spirit, broken families, broken homes. So these pictures just coming in, enhanced, and the pain. You know the pain, and you know the starvation. Let's go to the video. Video coming, stand by. Stopping, sharing. Wow, late, and we still got some viewers. It's beautiful. Going to number 2, we think. Let's try this. There, video. Okay, notice how they're all walking. This child's limping. Clearly shouldn't even be walking on this limb. She has to be in pain. These people in front of her have no care for her whatsoever. She's not a concern to any of the people in front of her. What a creepy video. Not sure who took the video, when it was taken, why it was taken, who posted it. There's something going on. I don't know who would take this video, how it came about, but there's a reason. And just notice how they're in a parking lot and there's no, get in front of us, honey. Okay, update. It was to a court hearing. This may be a courthouse. They were going to a court hearing somewhere around January of 2020. And her leg is injured. And then if you look at the other picture that we've been posting, she looks older. She looks taller. Like we feel they broke it again. They broke her leg twice, the same one, and didn't take her to the doctor the second time because it was such a liability, allowing her to just suffer in pain and starve her at the same time. And you shouldn't be walking. Let me carry you. Can you get her a shopping cart? She shouldn't be walking on this leg. She needs, So where's the medical attention for this crippled child? She's crippled. She's limping. Now she's missing. Missing. No, she's stolen. Somebody stole her, and so she's not really actually missing. Wake up in the morning, she's not in the bed. The adoption traffickers' house. It was a crime scene. And why didn't they surround the house, get everybody out, and do a complete, thorough investigation of that property? That's what needed to happen. We're unsure that any of that happened. Let's watch her walking again. So you can see, just turn the volume down. You can see they're far away from the main entry of any building, and it's like she's walking a half a football field on a fractured leg. It's more like get a shopping cart, Beatrice. That Isabella. She shouldn't be walking on this leg like this. They allowed her to walk like this, like it's a totally should be carried, no consideration. And there is a leg problem. Where's the medical treatment of this leg? What happened to her leg? And in other pictures, it just looks like it. Okay, we were able to confirm that
On behalf.
stand by. We're able to confirm that her leg was broken, and they did take her. They said a trampoline, the classic trampoline, but again, leg broken once, and we feel it got broken twice. As the other picture we've been posting looks like she's older, and her leg is broken. It's nowhere near where it needs to be. It got worse. We're concerned about possible staging of photos to make it appear that everything's normal and when it's not. So that's what we're seeing. And again, the only pictures that we've seen come out from the traffickers, the adoption traffickers, is her with a mask. So yeah, we can't play that in slow mo, but yeah, it's who took this, why is it taken, how did it come out, and that clearly she shouldn't be walking on that freaking leg. You want to make it worse? She should be in a wheelchair or in a shopping cart or being carried. Period. Has no business walking on a leg that's injured like that. Let it heal. It's clearly not healed, and we're unaware of any medical attention for that leg. And all of a sudden, I mean, all the other injuries, horrific forms of bruising that we've never seen before, and the appearance of starvation. And we know what that looks like. So let me see if we got any comments. Anybody out there, talk to us. That should be the Facebook page there, Emma. They need to live small, rural. Guy took 3 foster boys, raped him. There. Okay, yeah, there's the image. This is the image that we're putting out. Our banner image, Foster War 2021. This is a foster war. All the flashbacks of Natalie Finn, Sabrina Ray, starved and beaten to death in foster care. 2 deaths of Sabrina Ray, Natalie Finn, was it Ohio, within 6 months. Everything was ignored. All the reports of abuse were ignored here. In here as well, there were reports here of abuse by the bio mother, and they cut off the visitation. Just very targeted for trafficking. And we just don't understand who would hurt such a defenseless child like this. And then to see her like this, and they're celebrating. I mean, clearly the child needs to rest and be seen by a doctor. We're concerned. Look at the crippling of the leg. What, were they letting her walk on a crippled leg for months? That's what I'm talking about. That's why she's not in school. She's most likely walking on a broken femur or a broken leg for months. Who knows how long? They cannot take her to the hospital. You take her to the hospital, they're going to know that this happened a while back. Why wasn't she? Her leg can't be reset. It's setting the way it is. Look at it setting. It looks like she has multiple sclerosis. This is a beaten child. So let's classify it for what it is. And these other images of hands and arms and eyes. Yeah, this one here. Let me shrink up the picture. So again, police aren't doing a good job at all. FBI is not doing a good job at all. This is internationally, they're not doing a good job. They suck. They're all in on this. This is a systematic cover-up of child abuse, human trafficking, kids for cash, child molestation, child rape. All of those elements are involved in this trafficking agency called CPS, called the cops, called the judges, called the district attorneys, called all your politicians. All of them are in on this. Just make that a little bigger. Oh, what happened? We lost here. Okay. So what else did we have? So yeah, we're breaking 39,000. Got the follows. The follows are following. We're growing very rapidly. Now's our time. Move in quickly. Shut it down. 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 I can't say that enough. Shut it down. Enough is enough with this. God, we've seen enough. And call everybody out. This is the most important issue in America, period. And we have an opportunity to shut it down. We have the people. We have the voices. We have the anger. We have the concern. Because there's just a lot of this going on more than ever right now with the this common cold going to kill everybody pandemic. The common cold. So we had all those pictures. A family member, we talked to family. We have an update there. This is it. This is it. This is it. This is it. This is another one. This is a Sabrina Ray. Rays of Sunshine Daycare, beaten and starved and molested since being a baby at that place. They had this child over 2 years, about probably 2.5 years, just over 2.5 years. And this happens. They got her walking on a broken leg. It looks broken. She looks crippled. She has multiple sclerosis. My God, and look at her arms. And again, these are probably staged event pictures. They want them to be seen like, look, she's normal. Look, everything's fine. How can you say she was hurt? We don't know where she was at. There's no sign of her ever being at that house. The neighbors never seen her. They never seen her there. And they had people going in and out of there. Claims that the place is like a freaking party. Oh my God. Let me see. We could have a commenter coming in. Stand by. Okay, we got. I can tell you how that video came in. Videos taken on a court date. Visit family court. Oh wow. There we go. Social worker there, and adopted mother at the time. Did you copy that? Video taken court date. Visit court date. Visit family court. They're taking a crippled child limping to court. Where's the medical? Where's the medical information? Again, we have 4 felonies on the adopted father. I mean, abusive felonies. So, these pictures, they mean so much. And where's the medical? Was she seen? Did anyone see her for anything wrong with her leg? So clearly she has a fracture, maybe a dislocated hip fracture. To me, it looks like a possible, there's a break somewhere in here, but to take her to the court, that video, let's just go back to that video. I'm gonna go back to that video. Stop, share, stop screen, share the video. Let's try this one. Oh, I gotta get it up there first. Oh, let's go to the, oh yeah. Okay, we got the police report, the 4 felonies, public record. We're not going to focus on that. Let's just get back to the video. I'm going to bring that in right now. Stand by. Oh, shoot. Stand by. Again, court video, child crippled and not being attended to. We want to know all about all this court documentation that her leg was injured. It was seen by Dr. Napolitano, and Dr. Napolitano said it was okay and that she was injured off of a trampoline. We're waiting for all that information to come in. Stand by. We're going to go back to the video. We're going to go back to the video right now. Let's try this one. Okay, there. We're there. This is the video. Again, court date, going to court. Oh, it's family court date. We got the kid with us. That's probably another one they're carrying up there in the front. These are the traffickers, foster traffickers. Court date. So that we hear there's 3 siblings. There's possibly a little boy up there in the front, but they're taking her to court crippled, and she shouldn't even be walking on that freaking leg. And where's all the medical? Let's hear about all her leg injuries and how this injury happened. And I don't know. She looks young there. She looks possibly younger. Like she could have had this crippled leg for a long time. And if you continually abuse her there, it just gets worse. It's more painful. It never heals. You're under constant and extreme pain. Again, her size there, her height, her age, it doesn't match. She looks like this could be an older video. So concerned about when this video was taken. Again, this is a foster traffickers going to court with a crippled child that has disappeared when they wake up in the morning. And we have all sorts of other pictures of abuse. And this is a massive cover-up, they don't want this case to take away from Potato, the Gabby Potato case. Gabby Potato is most likely a staged event, and they don't want this event, which is much more horrific, much more innocent, much more evidence of abuse, much more government, FBI, cop, CPS engaged. They don't want this to take away anything. Where's our John Walsh to talk about this case? We need Johnny Walsh. Yes, we do. John, yes, the dirty laundry creator. What's going on here with the CPS, John? Why is he not speaking about this? Because this is so important because of her age, because of the timing. She was reported on the 13th of September, last seen August, August 16th, somewhere right in there, or 19th, 16 or 19 of August, last seen, but reported on September 13th. Never seen at the house. Hello. This is becoming plain as day. Supposedly had a Ring doorbell system on the door. Claims of being a party house. Anything goes. Anything goes. She may have never been at that house, trafficked to somebody else, or just trafficking kids. Don't want, there's something going on there. You can't have kids and not have them outside. Period. People would have seen them. So lots of zipped lips over there, but we're hoping this new reward, possibly $10,000, is going to come out. Again, what you're witnessing here is a child traffic victim by CPS that's not being treated by a doctor, that we have no history of her being treated. And if she was treated, she would definitely have some crutches, a wheelchair, and being allowed to rest. And x-rays. We want to hear about all the x-rays they did on her leg. CPS, yes, we're digging in right here, right now, people. We love all your support, even at this 1:30 in the morning. Never let them rest. Never let these people rest. Stand by. We got new information coming in. Oh, shoot. Let's see here. Switch that out. Okay. Trampoline. It always, just 4 months later, broken leg. Okay, here we go. January 2020, broken leg, taken ER. Oh, the trampoline. Oh my God. Are you guys listening to this? Do I have ESP? I mean, my God, we're waiting for this. The trampoline. It always does it. It's always that freaking trampoline, or the falling out of a simple chair. My God, I called this out before I'm even reading this, that we're waiting for this to come out. It has been released. We do have reports on this and possible x-rays. 4 months later, suffered broken leg. 4 months after the hand slam, January 20, which is quite a long time ago. Again, her leg didn't heal right. Clearly, you can see her older, 2021. Appears those pictures are older when with her in the shirt leaning on the wall. Her leg's not healing right. Something's going on. Whether she didn't get the rest and didn't get the support she needed to have it heal right. It's crooked. No maltreatment. No maltreatment. Okay. We want to see all the pictures of the trampoline and the jumping that she was doing, and where is this trampoline at? And all the evidence that a trampoline even existed. But again, the classic trampoline draw suspicion. Okay, Stephen Lane says the broken leg and hand slam draw suspicion. No reasonable explanation why a parent would delay the treatment or reporting this kind of injury. There was a delay in the reporting of the injury and a delay in getting her treatment. Oh my God, that's the hand slam. That's the hand slam. Yes. And if you look at her hand, it looks like more than just a small section of her hand. It looks like a larger area of her hand. We'll go back to those images and see if we can bring those in. Okay, we got a police report here. So, okay, let's see what you guys are looking at. You guys aren't looking what I'm looking at. 30 viewers, impressed. Don't let this rest. Don't let this rest for all the kids. We need. Where are you getting this at? Okay, you're seeing that. Yeah, that's the crippled picture. She's crippled there. The hand slammed in a door. Delay in getting treatment for a hand slammed in a door. Hello. the broken leg, the trampoline, all that typical cover-up stuff. The way she's standing, the way she's possibly leaning on a wall. Looks like she's going to fall over if she's not leaning on something. She's always in pain. It hurts her all the time. Her not holding the other kid's hand, that if she has her hand, she could be in pain, the slightest move that she's not used to, and it would draw pain to her. How she could systematically be continually abused. It's extreme pain. That's all we see here. It's all anyone sees here. And now we have all the markings and the mask picture. That's very odd. See if we can go to that. The only pictures that the traffickers, the adult traffickers, are showing are mask pictures. What kind? You adopt a child and she's missing. You don't come out and say anything, but you release pictures of her with a mask on. Total creep show. Let's see if I can get there. Let's get back up to those images. And this is one image here you're seeing with the mask. Let's blow this up. The mask, the hand slam, the lip rip, the lip here. Something's going on with her lip. The hand slam. They should have been taken immediately with the smashed hand, with the delay of reporting. Hand slammed in door, no maltreatment. How could you not have maltreatment when a child's hand is slammed in a door? I mean, you need to check for fractures, and that's something to think about too. Did she, I guess they didn't find any broken, but anyone else would have drawn suspicion. A normal people being investigated. Oh, you delayed the report. Well, CPS is on their way. Oh, you have a felonies in your background, four felonies, some of them violent. Oh, you can't have these kids. So traffic ring, cover up, FBI, cover up. This is a big case because of the timing. Again, 3 days after the potato case, 2 days. Potato case came out 9/11. This case came out 9/13. And again, hadn't actually been seen since the 16th of August 2021. I think I covered it. Let's see if we have any more commenters here. Stand by. Covered though. Talks about. Here we are. Oh my God. In the comments, any questions? Always praying for you, baby girl. Watching North Ireland. Thank you. Again, hand slammed. It is heartbreaking. It is emotional. We're keeping it all in, and you just got to keep moving. You know that you can get emotional about this stuff all the time, but just acknowledge it, keep it in, and the more you channel your voice and your energy, you'll come out in stronger. And you got to channel all that energy. Yes, Hawaii. Yeah, trampoline. The good old trampoline. Broken leg. So sexual abuse, molestation, rape, drugging, who knows? Claims by the adopters that we have evidence of abuse. We have evidence of torture. We have evidence of neglect. We have evidence of felonies with prior violence. Oh, I can't wait to get into those. Maybe we should get into those right here, right now. Stand by. I'm going to try to bring those in. Let me just download. We're starving for space, almost out of storage space. Downloading. We're going to go get right into that. I'm going to upload it, and you're going to see it right here. If we can, the violent past. If we can make it big enough, we'll see here. Let's close this down. Let's try to bring in a picture. Facebook makes everything so stupid. So the way they designed this. Look at all this crap you have to go through just to see your freaking page. This is how they just anything to slow down and cripple your ability and functionality. That's what they do. So we got a police report coming in. I'm just going to try to blow it up. It's not very legible, but we'll see once we put the viewer on it. Okay, let's go down. There it is. Here it is. I'm going to full screen it. This is a claimed police report. Lahia bond status, release status, severity, class C felony. Hearing 02. So yeah, it's a form of a felony. It's like we can't tell what the PC severity, HRS. Okay, so offense. So it's hard to tell what we've heard. There are some violent offenses by the traffickers, adoption traffickers, abusers, torturers, starvers. So here we are. Let's just get back to something else here. I'm getting tired. Just get rid of everything. Take a break. Take a breather. Oh my God, what a day. That's not a police report. Background check. Okay, yeah, thank you. Background check being the report we just seen, not a police report. A background check of any offenses. We're still, we've heard there's offenses, felonies, violence. Isn't dog from Hawaii? Dang, he should care about this. Okay, the dog. There we go. Bingo. Thank you, Susie. Yeah, there's never been a better time to call out all these quacks. John Walsh, FBI. Why are they not there? Why is the FBI pulling out stuff out of the Gabby Potato Home, but they're not pulling anything out of here for this child? And watching down under Brisbane. Thank you, Anna. Let me get her picture up here. Just can't let this go away here. Let's just get this picture up here. This is the picture, and it's just not getting enough attention, but that's what we're trying to bring out, that she's crippled, she's starving, she's in pain. Why didn't the doctors notice that she's losing weight, she's skinny? Something was going on, a deterioration from the 20 video to this picture. She's older here. She still has a crippled leg. It didn't heal right. Didn't get follow-up visits. Didn't get reset properly. Walking on it. Let me get that picture here. I'm so sorry. Let's try this. There we go. Yeah, the crippled leg, the starvation. These could be her last days here. It looks like her last days. It doesn't look good here. This picture, I've been doing this a long time, and it just doesn't look good here. And systematic abuse, starvation, neglect. We see it all here. So the doctors in 2020, January, didn't pick up that she didn't see the starvation in that. But so this could be happening later on. So many open holes in the story. Where was she really at? How long we know she wasn't seen since August 16th. Actually, no neighbors ever seen her. She wasn't there. My God, she wasn't freaking there. And then they're saying she likes to sleepwalk at night. And she goes out at night to sleepwalk. That doesn't happen. We know there's more to that. We had an error there on that typo on the top. It's actually August showing April. Let's see here. Where y'all at? You can see the expression of pain on her face. She's very thin. Yes, we noticed that too. Her arms, the wafting of the arms, these are her dying days. You're looking at a child that's being systematically tortured to death. And we may not even know about all the other forms of torture. We see starvation. We see abuse. We see the markings. But the sexual, that is very highly likely. That's what we see here. Constant abuse, systematic, over and over. And it's not talked about. This hasn't been talked about the way we're talking about it right here. A lot. So this is evidence. This is a trail. This is a cover up. This is collusion with all the authorities, all the public officials. There should be public officials down there to talk about this. The mayor, all the representatives, the governor of Hawaii. If they're quiet, they're in on it. Period. And 100% of them are quiet on this. Doesn't bother them. This is it's not my kids' business. That's a business. I think I'm going to mess with the judges. They'll kick my ass. When you think about it more and more, you realize that child trafficking is it is really the most powerful moneymaker, and it's foster care adoption that's putting that money in there. So Craig Sawyer says, "Oh, it's 32 billion internationally." No, we call it at 500,000 foster kids alone being trafficked. You could easily at an average, a very low average of 100,000 each. I think that's 50 billion. 100,000 kid, 500,000 times 100,000 is 50 billion. So, but it's actually higher than that. We could get the estimates up to 100 billion. So, you could on the low, very low, 50, on the high, 100 billion in the U.S. alone, just foster care, not even including adoption. Hello. Her hair. Did they comb her hair before she left? Look at that. This is Auschwitz. This is Guantanamo Bay. What am I not covering here? This is Guantanamo Bay in your face. They're all in on it. And this is the most important issue in America. She's a grain of sand on the beach of all the children that are being trafficked, harmed, maimed, drugged, and imagine the body count, what the bodies, the bones, the graves that are out there that we haven't found, the ones that we have found. Those are the images we don't see, but it doesn't look good here. That's why we're curious about a dated picture here on this. We don't have any date on that. Let's see if we have any updates. Okay. Yeah, we got more criminal reports coming in. How is it that you can have a nice right in front of you and no one sees the dress that changes? Okay. Wow. So some new images coming out with Isaac Sonny Kalua. Okay, there is a criminal record. We'll just bring that in, see what we find here. Okay, we copied that, and I'm going to try to put it on the screen here. Let's see. Let's bring it in. We got another. We're going to go over the criminal record real quick. Again, breaking the view count, breaking 40,000. This is such a historic moment for us. So we're really emotional. 40,000, growing faster than we ever have. Back in business, and taking names, just really kicking ass with putting together, getting the message out, and it's your engagement that makes us who we are. We couldn't do it without you. Stand by. That didn't come in. Oh yes, it did. Okay. Posting it. Over here. Okay, so this is the background check on Thomas Kawena. The record here. Sentencing, trial, change of plea, home modification sentence, promoting a dangerous drug. Okay, HRS, promoting a dangerous drug, 3rd degree. Okay, promoting that. We know what that's all about, right? The dangerous drug. What was he giving her, What was he giving her the little drugs? Did he OD her? A lot of times that's how these kids go. They get OD. Too much NyQuil. When they rape them, they give them NyQuil, and they die. Too much NyQuil, and they dump them. 20,000 filed, set here. Promoting dangerous drug, 3rd-degree felony. Okay. Except no contest. Accepted in 2019. See, that's even not too long ago. Involved in drugs. Oh my God. And he's adopting children. Accept no contest plea. Dispositions. That's right at the time they have the freaking kids. He's getting busted for drugs. Talk to me, people. Anybody out there, please. It's 1:52. I got to go to bed. I'm going to try to do this at 2:00. I'm going now. Talk to me. Drug conviction at the time they're fostering. Talk to me. In the comments. You guys are seeing this. I know you are. I see you out there. Okay. Okay, he lives in the house. Okay, clear. Okay. Lived in the house before CPS with the Kaluas. Leon's stepdad. Okay. Stepfather lives in the house. Okay, a little confused here, but I think let's see here. So this is claims of being a stepfather lived in the house. A person living in the house with a drug arrest, documented as living there. A stepfather. I guess that would be the stepfather to one of the adopters. That's what this the person living in the home. Just keep that in mind. So we got one more document. I gotta stop here. Thank you all. Benadryl too. Interesting. Thank you for mentioning that, Tracy. Benadryl being used. Let's just finish out on this the picture of the month. Right here. Get that blown up there. There it is. Picture of the month. And comments. Authorities should focus on Ariel's older sister, Ada. She is 12 years old. You see her in the video carrying a big backpack, walking alongside Ariel, who is carrying a large backpack while limping behind. Video was taken after a family court hearing held February 2020. Thank you. Copy that. Again, that's the video we had. The disgusting government. These people have to answer. No, we need to answer now. We want reparations and the whole system shut down. We're not waiting for somebody else to do what we need to do. Sadness in the eyes. Claire praying, poor girl. So yes, lots of views, lots of eyes on this case. Again, we have the Save Megan's Children page on Facebook. Come alive, stop everything, seize, stop, protest, stop engaging. Anytime you have a chance to engage the cowards that are allowing this to happen, all the courts, all the judges, all the cops, everyone's saying it's not my job, not my job, it's not my job, not my job. Oh, that's somebody else's job. It's not my jurisdiction. Yeah, this is Hawaii. A cover-up? Yes, of course. None of this could happen without the FBI. They don't want to say she's kidnapped because FBI, since the baby, the that famous baby, the Lindbergh baby, was kidnapped. FBI is responsible for all kidnappings, and they've never investigated a CPS kidnapping. No, CPS has never kidnapped a child in what, 40 years, 50 years. So complicity, cover up. It is heartbreaking. We've went through all the emotions. We're in recovery, and this is how we recover. And it's you people that inspire us. Your voices, your message, all eyes on, locked down, zero in, focused like a mofo. and that's powerful. The heat is on. Free Alexa. Yes, that's a Nevada case. Another trafficking, targeting, social targeting, trafficking, being messed with. Feed being messed with. Utterly disgusting. Hope truth comes out. Monsters pay. Well, we got them. We got them, baby. They're going. We're going to get them because you know why? Their days are numbered. They gonna. There's a reward coming out. Them lips are gonna start. The lips are gonna start staring at each other. Other people in that home, that huge Kalua family, know what's going on. They know what's happened. They know it's fishy and it stinks. Relatives, neighbors, somebody's going to get loose lips on that 10 grand that's coming up. We need to build a fund for her. Family, if you're still out there, we know you're watching. If you're out there, family, her family's been watching, working with us. If you get the fund going for her, the reward money, let's get the reward money. Let's bring down these monsters. Let's identify the social workers involved here. Let's involve we need to expose the social workers. We want to know who the judge was. We want to know who the police investigating were. We know you have the page. Let me just take you there to the page as we sign out here. Now, so the page is Isabella. This is her page. Here we need to put together the network, the investigation team of a very strict list of all the red flags, all the players involved. Again, this is Isabella. Where is she? Here we can put together all the red flags, who's involved, the judge, all the social workers, all the directors of CPS, why they're not talking. I mean, she was only in CPS, only here's the catcher here, is that they didn't have to monitor for 6 months after adoption completion because she was a foster child with them for 2 years. So they didn't have to go through the extended 6-month monthly visits to check on her. Okay, get that quick. That may have saved her life. They cut off reviewing for 6 months after adoption completes if you've had the foster child 2 years. Might have saved her life. But we want to identify all the players here. Can't wait to get that judge's face. Can't wait to get they're all colluding. They know what they're doing. They're placing kids in danger. It doesn't work. Foster care is broken. It's too freaking dangerous. Trafficking children to the black market, changing their name, new social. None of that crap works. It's a slavery. Foster slaves. Stop calling them foster children. There's nothing. They're not foster child. They are foster slaves. Period. Foster child slaves. That's what they are. It's a slavery trade. So looking at the page, we just really need to get to identify, get that GoFundMe together for the reward. We want this reward to reach $50,000 in 14 days. We're up to $50,000 reward. Boom! Watch all the lips start coming apart. The mouths are opening. The truth is coming out, and boom! We want to find her. So we got to keep the heat on. And again, there's claims of a $10,000 reward coming soon. We're excited about that, and that can be part of it. Unsure about what this post here was about. Maybe child trafficking or something, and $5,000 shoes, and just more nonsense about the Wayfair. They're trafficking children on Wayfair through file cabinets. $10,000 file cabinets. But no, it's just in plain view, child trafficking. Everyone's complicit. Again, judges, cops, the chief of police should be over there in front of this house talking about, letting the public know everyone's in danger as long as these people exist. Everyone in that area, this is a kidnapping. This is a severe Hawaii kidnapping. Probably could be one of the most famous kidnappings. We'll call it a kidnapping until we know otherwise, but we do know she was stolen, trafficked by CPS, stolen by CPS. Her soul, her body, her spirit from her family, deprived of her mother. Looks like bruising on the hand here. So yeah, lots of commentary. Let me get that link out there to you so you can see that. Copy it. Pasting it. Let's see. There you go. What's that song?
Hi, Andy J. Martinez here.
Okay, I really like this song. Has a lot of power and passion behind it. It's by Andy J. Martinez, and let's just hear it. And we're going to dedicate it to Isabella. Ariel. We like to. Her first name is Ariel. Her second name is Isabella. Her human name is Ariel. Her child's slave name is Isabella. Let's get it straight.
Here, I just made a new original a few weeks ago, and I'd like to share it with you guys. It's called "Aren't I Yours?" Right, here it goes. I'm too fucked up, can't even look good with you. I'm sorry, baby, I have to do this to you. I'm sorry, the sky looks silly. I'm in your mind, just so busy, baby, yeah. I need you now. I burn for you, kiss me all around. The more you can see me, the more you like to do more. Baby, mirrors on the ceiling, make me the one that you adore. All night yours. I wanna be the straw that you're sipping cooking whiskey off of. I wanna put this.
Oh, don't kill my beautiful music. Where'd it go? We're live here.
Got your hoodie, it's so busy, baby, yeah. I need you now. I'm bound for love, kiss me all around. I know you can see me, would you like to do more? Baby, mirrors on the ceiling, I'll be the one that you adore. All night, baby, I need you now. I'm out for love, kiss me all around. I know you can see me, would you like to do more? Baby, mirrors on the ceiling, make me the one that you adore. All night yours, all night yours, all night yours, all night yours. Thank you.
Wow. I thank you, 25 viewers. We see you late night. Awesome. It's been a pleasure, everyone. Growing, going to get ready for that 40,000 followers. It's a big day. We're getting emotional. We've got so much on the line. We know we're moving. We know we're gaining, and we can only do it with you and your attention to this and your share factor. that's how we do this. But we can get them, and we need, again, in this case here, we have the page. We need to identify all these people involved, the traffickers, the the people that put her in danger, the place that she was not safe. The family was wanting her. They needed her in their family, and they were denied. And you can't do that. You have to give them the opportunity first, unless there's something recent of abuse, specifically violence. There are claims of a relative with a drug past offense years ago, but nothing current. Foster care adoption, too dangerous, doesn't work. It's never was meant to work. They knew it was about child trafficking, sex trafficking, child molestation, child rape, child drugging, child alienation, destroy the family, cripple the parents, just a war. Take the children and everything crumbles. They're like, what is that Django? You pull the piece of wood on the bottom and everything falls down. Take the children and watch what happens to the family. Beautiful. Beautiful. Again, remember, this is the image that we're coming out with. Let me see here. What you're looking at. We're just going to close out with that pretty image there. But that was before they cut all her hair off. Again, this is the page. Get there. We're going to crack the case ASAP because there's claims of a $10,000 reward coming, and we want it to grow. Family out there, get that thing put together, the GoFundMe, so we can generate more money for that. I know there's a lot of people that are sick of this, and Layla's stepdad lives in the house. That's the record I sent. Ariel is black in this picture with the foster family. Okay.
I just made a new original a few weeks. I wanna be a straw that you're sipping cooking whiskey off of. I wanna put these lips on yours. Fingertips, and when you bite down on my lip a bit, you're building castles in my head like you're an architect. Kaleidoscopic palaces, I can't get over it. I got your hoodie, 'cause you're so busy, baby, yeah. I need you now. I'm bound for you, kiss me all around. I know you can see me, would you like to do more? Baby, mirrors on the ceiling, I'll be the one that you adore. All night baby, I need you now. I'm out for you, kiss me all around. I know you can see me, would you like to do more? Baby, mirrors on the ceiling, make me the one that you adore. All night all night all night all night. Thank you. Hi, Andy J. Martinez here. I just
Okay. Intro. Yeah, covering the Ariel Sellers, also known as Isabella Kalua, but Ariel Sellers, her maiden name before she was stripped of her identity by CPS in a forced adoption. Now she's gone. They can't find her. Yes, she went to sleep at night and couldn't be found in the morning, and it's a missing case. No, if your car's not there in the morning, do they just say it's missing? Is it a missing car case? Let's declare anything that's not there. It's just missing. People don't steal things. We can't say people steal things until it freaking happens. Please share this content. This is very important. The forced adoption, how she, can't find her in the morning. She has a tendency to sleepwalk and sleep out in the yard. Just these ridiculous claims. statements that are just off the wall. There's other things to talk about. There's red flags along the way. We might have a family member coming in. We'll see. But this is we're on Facebook now. Stand by. And we are on where is Isabella? Isabella, you can see that there. Let me blow it up for you. It's got some attention, but they call off the search. All of these children that have met, the most vicious fate imaginable. I mean, they're not there. We know what happened. We know what they want them for. We know, it's one of two ways with this child. What happened to her and what's being done to her, and there's really three things, and that's what we want to try to cover here. If you have any comments, let us know. Powerful, full case. Let's just go to let me get some audio here of the family speaking. They did a interview, I think, just the other day. Let's see if I can find it here. Here it is here. No, that's not it. It's here. Here's what the family has to say. Hi, CPS News Network Live, 342 Peace ST. We're going to call it here. Thank you all. It's been a 3-hour show. Keep sharing. Foster War 2021, operations shut down. Surrender the kids, cough them up. The gig is over. Foster care is nothing but a child sex trafficking, torture, pedophile, drugging, murder ring, period. That's all it is. It's meant to destroy everything in America, everything. Families, cultures, everything. And it does a very good job. They are the best child trafficker, slave selling of children, destroying families mechanism ever devised. Period. CPS News Network.